I'm Mick Angelhere and welcome to Mick Angelhere's World. Right now I'm in Milparinka, in the just between Broken Hill and Tibooburra. In 1896, this courthouse was built from a design by colonial architect James Barnett at a cost of £2,160. This is the police barracks and the cells, which was built in 1885. And 1881, the first police station was established here with six constables servicing the whole region. 6 constables. The sandstone was actually locally quarried from here, came from the local quarry. So we'll have a look at the police station first. No chance of it being muddy shoes. No rain. Oh, okay. Well, I'll go this way. Wow, this is cool. Okay, we go into the police station. Storeroom? This is the cop shop. Oh. Nickel-plated handcuffs and iron handcuffs, the batons that the police used to use, and the hobbles they used on the prisoners. This is what they used to hobble the prisoners' feet together so they couldn't walk too far. From Milparinka to Mason's Ridge. This is the room for those who served in the First World War. I was at Gallipoli 35 years ago. Interesting place, Gallipoli. This is what they used to do in the newspapers. Rearrange the letters, put the ink on top, and then press it onto the paper. The paper will run off the thing. They arranged it. They arranged whatever. They'll put a word or what, and then the copper plate of the paper, and it will just be. It's the lockup, this is the jail cell. So, if you were bad, you were arrested by the police, they threw you into here. Writing slates. Now, the School of Air Broken Hill, back right up to the 90s, to the north 2000, kids in these remote areas and stations would be going to school by radio. And the School of the Air, the kids will sign in, the teacher will be in Broken Hill, and they'll do their classes. Pretty cool. Flying doctor service, very essential part of the Outback, by the Reverend John Flynn. He led the Australian Inland Mission in 1912, and he knew that people needed some access to medical aid, and so Lieutenant John Clifford Peel conceived the idea of an aviation medical service. He was killed in France during World War I and never knew that his dream became a reality. Flynn's association with Qantas, founder Hudson Fish, led to the first flight of the aerial medical service in 1928. Communication was another challenge that had to be overcome, and after touring inland with Flynn, a chap by the name of Outrigger developed a hands-free, pedal-powered Morse code transceiver. In November 1928, Flynn and Trigger made the dumb inland speak, and it stepped distances here. So this is what that is. That's the pedal-powered transceiver. The 1938 base for the Australian Aerial Medical Service was established at Broken Hill, covering more than 1 million square kilometres, 400,000 square miles, and to the transmitter radios were eventually installed at most station properties, and emergency calls could be made 24 hours a day. There was no privacy. Everyone could hear everyone else could hear what the call was about on other radio. And in the School of Air, in 1942, the service was named the Flying Doctor Service. In 1954, the Queen and Duke of Edinburgh visited the base of the Flying Doctor Service in Broken Hill, and the Queen spoke to the radio to Mrs. Mitchell of Malparinka Station on the banks of Lake Eyre. Well, following the Queen's visit in 1955, the service was renamed the Royal Flying Doctor Service. There she is. I myself have had personal experience with the Flying Doctor Service. I was flown out from a township in the Northern Territory after being seriously injured while working on a cattle station nearly 20 years ago. I broke, severely broken pelvis, which is still broken, and I was pretty much what's like in there. The incident happened on the Queensland side of the border of the Northern Territory, where there's a massive property. I got seriously injured. It took that happened about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it took about 4:30 before I got to the hospital in Mount Isa, after being flown from Camberwell to the flying doctor service. So I have a very personal experience with the flying doctor service. Yeah, and since that day I have not, my pelvis is still broken, and I'm haven't experienced a day without pain since. But yes, so I have a personal connection with it. This is the old post office that was built in 1901. It's been restored. As you can see, it's been restored to visitors. It was actually acted as a telegraph station, and that was the first telegraph station was built in 1853 in Australia, in nearby Williamtown in Melbourne. 1872, the overland telegraph line connecting Darwin to Adelaide was completed, and 11 repeater stations were built along the line where technicians received the retransmitted signals. Right. But it'd been many years before it came here, and it was it took until 1889. Yes. So that was when the line was opened in 1890. 1890, the first telegraph was here, then the telephone was, but this is the telegraph. I've forgotten my Morse code. I used to know Morse code, ... Alright. Ring ring, this is the telephone calling. You literally had to crank this. That's what you had to do to get the phone operating. Hello? No, I don't want any takeout. No takeaway. Alright, I want a couple of pizzas. Chinese food? Yep. Okay, but no ham and pineapple pizza. Alright.